Hey there, it's Laura Godwin, your Cincy Superstar Director. So, I wanted to chat with you a little bit today about how to make speaking a little bit easier on you. So, I get that many of us didn't do well with public speaking in school. Many of us are shy in nature and we just don't really feel comfortable in the spotlight, and definitely not with a microphone or standing up in front of someone, right? So I get that. And so what I wanted to share with you today is a few things that I've learned pulling from my teacher days. And then also, I wish you guys knew my pastor. I've sat under a lot of speakers, and I really feel so lucky to get to listen to him every church service. He has the ability of speaking in a way that makes you want to listen to everything that he has to say, sitting on the edge of your pew. And not just that, but he also makes you want to do whatever it is that he was talking about. I mean, it really makes you inspired. And I think that's the mark of a true awesome speaker. So I wanted to share some of the things that make him awesome, some of the things that I learned as a teacher as well. So the first thing that I want to encourage you to do is to keep your presentation to 10 minutes or less. The human brain just kind of goes into auto mode at like 7 minutes or maybe less depending on the speaker, and so really feel like anything over 10 minutes is just like suicide if you aren't like a professional. And I don't think any of us are. I know I'm not. And so I try really hard to make my trainings 10 minutes or less. If you need to, you could do a part one and part two. And then that way you could keep it short and to the point and maybe help your listeners digest what you're trying to say. Another thing that I want to inspire you to do at your next speaking engagement is to start out telling them what they're going to benefit from by listening to you. I kind of did that for you. I opened this up with what you're going to learn, why it's going to change your journey, and how it's going to help you. And then you immediately made a connection. Yes, this is what I need to hear. She's going to tell me something that I'm going to be able to use. And you want to do that for your listeners as well. All right. Another thing is to use equal part inspiration and equal part training. So you're going to have type A's and type B's listening to you. And so it doesn't need to be just all fluff and stuff. It needs to be some hardcore ideas and things that they can put into practice, something that would appeal to the type A. But then it can't be all data and stats and, like hardcore stuff, or you'll lose your type B's. So make it equal parts, teaching and inspiring. Be passionate about your subject or delegate it. Do you know how many times I have had to really just have a conversation in my brain and tell myself, Laura, man up, you are not the best one for this topic, you need to delegate. And then I did. And I got someone to talk on that subject that was really passionate about it. And everybody enjoyed it more, including me. So I want you to think about your next topic. And if it's something that you don't feel passionate about or excited about it, then I bet you could write down a list of 2 to 5 names of people that you know in your team, in your upline, someone that you know that could probably speak from a place of passion and excitement on that very same topic. So use them. All right, in your presentation, add a quote or a picture. I love pictures. And this will back up what you're trying to say. This quote will, kind of pack a punch. It'll show your listeners that, hey, this is a big deal, and even someone else in the world agrees with what I'm talking about. Ooh, I love this one. Tell a story to back up the content of your training. This can be your story or it could be someone else's story. I'm going to tell you this because you need to know what I'm going to say, but you have to promise me you won't tell my pastor. Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay, so last Sunday morning, 2 days ago Sunday morning, I was sitting in church, and normally I'm an avid listener. He's a great speaker. It doesn't take much to be interested in what he's going to say. But on this day, 2 days ago, I was just all over the place mentally. My mind was like a kite. I was just going to and fro. I was thinking of this, thinking of that, and I just wasn't paying attention. And it's really terrible because what he was speaking on was fantastic. I just was in a crazy state of mind. But everything changed when he started telling a story. My mind involuntarily stopped wondering and focused straight in on what he was saying. He was talking about a childhood story, and then he tied it into how he does his grandkids, and I was just like, I was all ears. I was focused. I mean, he drew me back out of La La Land, all because he interjected a story. Now, his story did perfectly back up the content of his message, but it really taught me and reconfirmed to me how important stories are. If you don't have a story to back up what you're talking about, then use someone else's story. Okay, here's a good idea. Make everybody laugh at least one time while you're presenting. And I do this sometimes I do it without even meaning to because I goof up and then everybody laughs. But it really is a good thing when everybody laughs at least one time. Okay, so smile as you talk. This is huge. I mean, when you hear someone talking and they're smiling as they're doing it, you want to smile too. It's a big deal. So smile as you talk. Please smile. It's fantastic. Just try. Okay, so if you can't stick to a 10-minute presentation or it starts getting wordy, just chop it off and say, okay guys, that was part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. Or I'm going to share the rest of this at our next training. Don't feel like you got to finish it just because it's on your paper. And then the last thing. All right, end with a call to action. So I think that part of the inspirational part of someone that we consider a good trainer, he was a good trainer, she was a good trainer, it was that they shared with us why we should do it, how we should do it, the results of someone else that did it, and then they challenge us to do it. So end your trainings with, a challenge or a call to action to back up what you just inspired them to do. Challenge them to do it, and then maybe even have a place where they can go to share their results later on. So I hope this helps you not be so intimidated the next time you have to get up and speak, and I hope you get some really great results, and hey, you're going to be a big, huge success.